So this is an initial test to look at heat dissipation in brakes, and you can see I've got a thermal camera here. It's pointed at the front wheels of my Elise, and it is hooked up to an Android phone which is video recording the thermal imagery from the camera. And I've also got a heat gun which I can use to independently verify the sort of heat gun, a thermal handheld temperature gauge I can use to verify it as well. This is just a rough early test. There's some things I didn't do right. I need to go and do this test again, but I thought it would be interesting enough just to throw it up on YouTube and see what you all thought. Now the car is stationary at the moment, the top of the tyre is in sunlight, but take a look at the brake disc. It's really quite cool because I've been very careful not to heat it up, so just really letting the car coast to a halt. Now I was going to put noise on this, but I can't because I had the music going and I'll get done for copyright or whatever song I was playing. But you can see now, that the tyre's heated up quite a bit, and this is just on a public road with the camera hanging out there, and what I'm going to do is accelerate up to 100 k's an hour and then do an emergency stop. And the tyre's definitely heated up now, but the inside of the wheel really quite cool by comparison. One of the things I've got to do is actually lock out the range. I didn't do that because the range will keep changing, so the hottest, the sort of minimum to maximum, that won't be fixed across the video. I'll change that for the next one. Still, I think it's pretty interesting to see just that heat start to build up there as the car gets faster and faster. And then in a moment, we're going to slam the brakes on and you'll be able to see what happens there. Tyre getting really hot now. And there's the braking event. So you can see that the disc brakes just really heated up a lot relative to the rest of it. And yeah, you can just see how hot they are now. And the tyre itself has got hotter as well. Now I can't data log this unfortunately, so and I haven't worked out how to turn the whole thing 90 degrees, but I will do that. So you can see just how much hotter that disc brake is now, which is doing its job right. I mean, it's meant to absorb heat, but it's also meant to dissipate heat. It's going to be interesting to see how long it takes to dissipate that heat. Just look how hot that brake disc is now. We go for another braking event here and get some more heat in, and look at that. So you can see that instantly as it hit the brakes there, the heat, because the scale isn't fixed, the brake disc is now by far the hottest thing, and that's why there was a big difference between the tyre or the wheel in the tyre and the brake disc. And now the brake disc has got so much more heat, the scale is changed to reflect the fact that that's much hotter than the tyre now. The tyre has got hotter, but in relative terms the brake disc is now by far the hottest part of the component. And it'd be interesting to, one other thing I need to do is make sure I turn the wheel start and finish, and we can look at the brake build up, heat build up there. The other thing I'll do is drive in a circle so you can see the increase of heat build up across the width of the tyre as well. That's going to be quite interesting. Okay, so that was 3 stops from about 100 k's an hour down to about 0 or 20. And what I'm going to do now is stop, and I'm going to speed up the camera so we can see how long it's going to take to dissipate all of that heat. So I hope you found this video useful. There will be others as I refine what I'm doing with this test. And if you've got any questions, comments or suggestions, please feel free to use the comment section, and look forwards to further tests and seeing what we can find out about heat dissipation.